King, Mike in the Night, and the Gemini crew.
Welcome all to Mike in the Night. Welcome all that are burning the midnight oil, working, and listening to us. Mike in the Night. Summer's here in the northern hemisphere. Winter is in the south. If you want to join us in the comments, go ahead and join us in the comments. We are live every 9 p.m. Western Seaboard time. What's going on here? We got bottle caps in the house. Let's go Raptors. Gary Medeiros. Hello Mike. Hello Gary. Bottle caps. I won't watch any Raptors games because if I do, they'll lose. So don't tell me who's winning or losing. Well, tomorrow's the finals. Toronto is 3-1 in their series. 3 wins and 1 loss with the Golden State Warriors. With Curry and Cousins. And they're not doing too well. They're not organized. I don't think they're going to win the next game in Toronto. I think Toronto's going to take it on Monday. Portugal plays tomorrow in the finals for the Nations Cups against Netherlands. So, living the dream. Hi, Mike. How is the family doing? The baby is growing fine. Oh, yeah. Baby's doing great. She, laughs at me now when I talk, and I talk in a kind of a funny voice. Yeah, family's doing good. Thanks for asking. Did Mike in the Night just flex on us? Oh yeah, that's a gun show, baby. Mike, have you heard from Steve the plumber? Yes, I did. I talked to him yesterday? Hold on. Yesterday was no, I talked to him Thursday. He's doing well. He is on the ground and he is super slam busy. Oh man, you guys have no idea how busy and slammed the guy is. With a lot of foreclosure properties he's working on for the banks. He's just up to the till. Okay, guys. Montreal Grand Prix tomorrow, says bottle caps. That's correct. I heard about that too. I don't know how warm it is to do that, but anyways, guys, tonight, Mike in the Night. Later on in the show, we're gonna be talking about the tariffs, understanding what a tariff is. Tariffs are from basics, and synonyms, antonyms, and Wikipedia's version of it, and going through some articles and a bunch of call-ins. Whoever wants to call in on tariffs tonight, because tariffs affect every human being on this planet. It doesn't matter what role you play in society, you will be affected by tariffs, regardless. So, tons of shout outs, guys. So, let's start here with the channel. I want to thank everyone for coming on board and subscribing to the channel. Mike in the Night, last week's show, if you missed it. The Death of the Pension, last week was a really good show. And What is Marriage Dead, the week before. And Your Story, the week before that. It keeps going on. My channel's organized, so you can find everything by date. There's trends in the housing market. If you missed Wednesday's show, it was really good. We got a couple of people on the phone. Housing crisis. Australia's experiencing a construction slowdown. Sydney man down $7.6 million. He purchased his first property in 2011, and he started riding off the equity and just went nuts. Let's borrow more against our homes. And Canada is unveiling the new Canadian reality series, Vancouver's Next Real Estate Agent. Yes. Oh, yes. Did a good job on explaining this video.
Before in your life. One of these winners will win a prize like no other. Unlike The Survivor, unlike Amazing Race, unlike...
So that's going to be interesting. Canada's top real estate agent. Yeah. So my yearbook videos keep getting demonetized. These yearbook videos. If you want to see what countries used to look like before they got basically the change we saw in the last 5 years. Yeah. So you guys can see the changes. Sydney, Australia, 1955 has already been taken down twice and was branded as bullying and hate speech. So if you guys get some time, go to my yearbook here, my little carousel, and see all my yearbook videos, and you try and see if you could pick out the racism that's going on in there, because I don't know what's going on. The YouTube channel is dying, guys. I am continuing to decline. I'm going up in subscribers by a lot, but my stuff is just kind of not getting out there anymore. Lord Humongous in the house. Jimmy B747. Woo! Give a Ric Flair. Succumbus Unaffordable Australia says Chinese Canada. Charlie Brown, good day, mate. I crashed on your Skype. A few issues at the moment. Off and on again. Yeah, buddy. I got some stuff that's going on there. BitChute is the future. Mike, give a Ric Flair woo. And Mike in the Night live on woo! Yeah, let's get old Ric Flair. Let's get old Ricky here. So the YouTube's coming to an end, so I'm going to go with a live. My manager down in Australia, Charlie Brown, is telling me that I should go with that other one. There's another one. I'm on Patreon, but there's another one he told me to get onto. Okay, so what am I looking for? Ric Flair. I like Ric Flair. He's got his own channel too. Here we go. This is our woo. Woo! Oh yeah, good old Ricky. 1 second long. This is the best 1 second you'd spend on YouTube. Right there. Oh yeah, the best 1 second on YouTube right there. Okay, let's move on. Guys, I'm on Minds. Guys, I've been promoting the crap out of this website. It's so good. It's like Facebook, and you get cryptocurrency. You get cryptocurrency for posting things. And the more posts you get viewed, the more you get paid in crypto, and you could reuse it to boost your page and make it bigger. And Sandman messaged me on one of my videos. We talked back and forth. MGTOW, the godfather of MGTOW, messaged me, and I was very happy to see that. And I messaged him back. I was very happy, very, very happy to see that. So guys, get on Minds. I'm on Minds. It's not hard to find me. You could find my link up here at the top of my channel, right there, Minds. Get on there, join. It's unlike Facebook, so you'll have a good time on it, and there's no censorship, right? Yes, New Beginnings 101 is sending love from Australia. That's what I'm talking about. You know, you guys won't believe this, but you know, my channel for many years, for about 4 years, was the number one country that viewed my channel was Australia. Australia was number one, with almost 67% of the analytics going to Australia, and then it was America, then Canada, then New Zealand, then England. Now, I've been so censored in Australia, you have no idea. They deleted 420 of my Australia videos about housing that I've been talking about. Oh, Fatman243 is saying, what rank is New Zealand? Okay, so right now, it sits like this. It's USA's first, then Canada, and then it's UK, then it's New Zealand, and then the fifth most watched country was South Africa. And then Australia is like 21st now. In a matter of a flick of a switch, like this, gone. Yeah, Charlie Brown's also on Minds. There he is there. Charlie, follow me so I can follow you back, or message me, Charlie, so I can message you back so I know it's you. Working on it. Let's get her working on it. We need to get you on Minds. Let's go. Minds.com. Get off Facebook. It's crap. Keep the Facebook to keep in touch with family, but get this so you can go crazy. Yep, working on it. Said interest rates all-time low. Charlie says the Australia has been censored since 1999. Oh yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Stephanie is saying, sending golden sand and waves from Orlando, Florida. Yeah. Yeah. Someone's asking, is Minds free? 100%. 100% free. Minds is 100% free. Oh, lots of comments here. I got somebody here with the image or the avatar here of the Prime Minister of Australia. And commenting on my videos. There's a big Australia video I got here I put up today. You know what, guys? Just pretend it's fake news, because if this is real, we're in trouble. You know what I mean, I say? We're in trouble. Yes. Han Bulbin's here from the intro. Oh, he's here for the intro. How's my weight loss? I'm feeling good. You know, my stomach has gone down nice and firm. Just showing off a little bit of flexing here. I don't really work out, but, you know, it's going good. I'll keep you guys in the loop at the end of this month, and I'll tell you how much weight I've lost. Or I'm going to try and focus on keeping my chin straight like this so I don't look too fat. You know what I'm saying? So Minds.com is 100% free, and you get paid. You actually get paid right here in crypto tokens. Tokens. Here's the breakdown of the crypto tokens. That's how many tokens I have right now. And if I want, I could transfer it to a Bitcoin wallet or like a ETH wallet and transfer it into currency if I want. It's free. And I don't want to transfer it to money because I want to use it so I could click on the boost here and I could boost my channel, my page more, so more people could find me and subscribe to me. And I have myself rated as an amateur journalist. Once I learn how to read, then I'll make myself maybe not an amateur journalist, but I guess entrepreneur. No, it's not entrepreneur. What do you call it when somebody's on the sidelines working, but they're not professional? Not amateur, but you know what I mean. Okay, Stephanie is saying housing market here is finally slowing down a bit, but not as many people from the Northeast relocating here before. It's super hot and humid here. Yes, it is. Mike, I'm following you. Not telling you till 2 p.m. No breaky anymore. You're not eating till 2 p.m.? Oh. Side hustle, baby. Sidekick. Yeah, it's a sidekick. Yeah, okay. It's a sidekick. Somebody on the side. I'm going to promote myself from amateur journalist one day when I learn to read. From amateur journalist. And I'm going to move myself up to apprentice. It's apprentice. To apprentice journalist. And then from apprentice journalist, then freelance journalist. Right? And then one day, I will become a... I don't want to go past freelance. There's no point. So Jimmy B747, it's called Minds.com. Go to Minds.com. It's the new Facebook. So watch what this. I click on the news feed. Boom. And it's all... There's my video up there. There's my other video up there. It shows mostly my stuff, because I'm only following like 3 or 4 people. I think I'm following Paul Joseph Watson. There's Sandman. He's on here too. It's mostly my stuff, only because I don't have many people. So I follow Sandman. I think I follow this guy. I don't know who this guy is, but I follow quite a few people. Morning Coffee with Mike, Sandman, and that's my video there. But unexpected growth in commercial vacancies. Oh, there he is, Charlie Brown. There he is. There he is. He's messaging me here. Let's go to his account. Let's go to his account. Oh, what? Why isn't it opening? Here it is. There he is, Charlie Brown. So I'm going to subscribe. Yep, I'm going to follow him. So I'm following him now, right? There he is. So now I'm following somebody else now. Now his stuff is going to come up on my newsfeed now going forward. It should come up. There it is, see? So if you're from the channel, I'll follow you back if you're posting. So that's it, minds.com, and don't be afraid. You get paid for doing it for free in cryptocurrency. And like I said, I don't use my tokens for anything but boosting my content. All right, I'm also on BitChute. BitChute's having a few glitches, having a tough time uploading. See, some of the videos won't upload. I don't know why, but yeah, pretty tough. And Patreon, guys, if you want to support me on Patreon and join the family, I got four people supporting me now, and $1 a month gets me a coffee. You buy me coffee, okay, for morning coffee with Mike. And then I set it up as a mafia thing. $5, you're a captain, compare gamies. And $10 a month, you become a consigliere, where you are an advisor. And then underboss. There's only 20 positions for underboss here. And you could join the family. I set it up as a cute mafia ranking system. I'm more than happy to donate $1 a month if you were more than happy to do that. That just gets me coffee, and that's great. And helps support this 50 hours a week I put into this transmission. But yeah, so there's different ranks, and then and everybody's connected to Discord. So we're gonna start it. The chat is working. It's there. There's nobody on there. So if anybody wants to join the chat, please go ahead and join our chat. And then this way, it's serious people that are part of the channel, not to spam and ruin it for everybody else. Let's move on. Now let's move on to a bit of news. We got quite a bit, but before we click news, I want to click the really hot video here. Chinese warships collect baby formula in Australia. Yeah. Chinese warships that docked unexpectedly at an Australian port departed with cargo. Departed with cargo of baby formula, local media discovered. The arrival of trio of Chinese ships, including the amphibious assault vessel, set off alarm bells on Monday morning among Australian citizens who did not have an advance notice of the visit, and analysts who regarded it as a show of force. But the trip was so highlighted China's vulnerabilities as Chinese sailors were photographed loading baby formula onto the ships before they departed. Wow. So what some Chinese colleagues were saying about this is realistic socialism as a true stage of affairs in their country, the best epitomized here. Advanced warships that project the state's might while sailors cope with tainted food products back home. So this is pretty bad. You know, it's like, hey, we need more baby formula. Yeah, what are we gonna do? Let's take it from Australia. Yeah, and everybody screams, okay, let's get to our ships. Let's just go there and get our baby formula. Yeah, and everybody is going crazy. You know what I'm saying? China does what it wants and when it wants. Everyone thinks, so we got new beginnings here, 101 saying, yep, it's hard enough as a parent to find formula in Australia. Now we have a shortage. Some places say they won't have any stock for 2 months. Yeah, you know what's going on, guys, and I'm gonna tell you guys this. China is saber rattling with its sabers, flexing its muscles like this. See these? Flexing its muscles to show it doesn't need anybody because it could do what it wants. And that's what the Chinese have been doing for the longest time. They do what the hell they want. And lucky. You know, everyone's, oh, America's doing this, America's doing that. China is 50 quadrillion times worse. Yeah, China taints many products sold here in Canada. Toxic substances contained in most products. You want to know something, guys? Do you know that Canada is trying to push a law? It's still in reading to make it illegal for Canadian consumers that buy food, to make it illegal for you to know where the food comes from. Do you know why? Because they want to lower the price of food, but making everything locally is too expensive. So what they want to do is get crap in from China that's laced with shredded Chinese newspaper and rotten apple cores and mix it together, and there's your beef, sir. And you know what? We're not allowed to know where it came from. Oh. So, Hannah's saying, Mike, do you think it's inevitable that we will eventually go to war with China? They are raping the West. Would like your opinion. Well, we are already at war with China, guys. We've been at war with China for the last, I don't know, couple of years now. And we're at war right now with our intellectual property that's been going on for the last 20 years. But not only that, so it's not even that, it's trade wars. And that's what we're going to be talking about, trade wars. Trade wars, think of it in a historical sense of how a trade war works, okay? Picture it as you're a castle. You're a castle keep. You're a castle. You got walls around your castle. You're heavily defended. No one's gonna think of invading your castle. No one's gonna siege you. No one in their right mind will siege you with those defenses. So up comes an invading army. They get smart. You know what they do? We're gonna put tariffs on these guys. How did they do it in the medieval times? Very simple. Let's surround the castle and starve them to death. And that's how they imposed tariffs back in the day. The people pay. Not the rulers, because the rulers have a bunch of meat and food. You know, not the higher oligarchs. The peasants on the ground pay. Alaric did this when Rome was invaded, when Rome was on collapse. Alaric surrounded the Roman city and starved them. And that's how they implemented tariffs, by starving the people. To give in. To take a knee. And that's how tariffs have been implemented back in the day. Chinese naval visits Australia to have a more typically been lone frigate, not a task group with an amphibious assault ship and 700 personnel. Yep, that's an act of war. That's an act of war. And I think that the people of Australia should I think they should call in early elections. I think somebody needs to go down there and say, look, I'm running for president. We want an early election. Get as many signatures. The country needs to be taken into the hands of the people that are going to tell the right people this. Right here. The country needs to be in the hands of people that will do this. Anyways. Welcome to the gun show tonight, people. Anyways, I don't even work out, so anyways. Okay, guys, let's get to some news here. The skid is everywhere, and we just got confirmation that the worst is yet to come. Unfortunately, most of American cities are still completely in denial about what is happening, and they find themselves ill-prepared to handle the very harsh economic environment that is ahead. Guys, this is a big problem. This is happening all around America. Seattle is dying. Video was out. Last time I was in Seattle. Washington State. I just couldn't believe the condition the city was in. I just could not believe it. Trump, real deal reached with Mexico to stem the tide of migration, tariffs suspended. I'm pleased to inform you that the United States of America has reached a signed agreement with Mexico to stem the tide of migration. The Pentagon's spoiling for a fight, but with China, not Iran. After years of fruitless war on terror, the Pentagon is turning its focus to China and Russia. What could possibly go wrong? That's probably next week's show. Fight with China and Russia. Who would win? Nervous Nancy Pelosi slams Trump. Oh, I'm not even going to waste my time reading that. She's probably drunk. Rates, time, and gold, the last thing central bankers want to see. The whole system has changed. The saver has been driven into the speculate well beyond the possibility of being repaid by a borrower by buying equities instead. He swaps credit risk for entrepreneurial risk. I don't think so. That's a bad idea. Visualizing how different generations approach work. How the Los Angeles disease renaissance, typhoid and typhus have come back. So typhoid and typhus is I remember hearing about it in the history books. I think it had a lot to do with wiping out a lot of First Nations or Aboriginals. I think typhoid fever. I think it was that one, and smallpox, but I think it's a disease that hasn't been, but this is pretty bad. Los Angeles. So I got somebody down in Los Angeles. Oh my God. I got someone down in Los Angeles that could do some videos for me. Oh, look at that. Hollywood Boulevard. This way. See? Yep. All right. We're done with the news. That's enough news tonight. Okay, guys. Tariffs. Tariff synonym. Cost, duty, excise, levy, price, rate, tax, toll, assessment, charge, impost, tab. Oh, let me tab this. Price tag. It's a Latin word, lists prices, book of rates. From Arabic, tariff, information, notification, investors' fees to be paid. That's the history of the word right there. Okay. Now, tariff.
Tariff. Tariff. Tariff.
A tax duty to be paid on particular class of imports or exports. That's the definition. Now, let's see what Investopia says. What is a tariff? A tariff is a tax imposed by one country on the goods and services imported from another country. How tariffs work. Tariff is used to restrict imports by increasing the price of goods and services purchased from another country, making them less attractive to domestic consumers. There are two types of tariffs. A specific tariff that is levied as a fixed fee based on the type of item, such as a $1,000 tariff on a car, and ad voltrum tariff is levied based where the item's valued such as 10% of the vehicle. So if it's a $100,000 car, you got to pay $10,000 tariff. But if the type of tariff is a fixed, if it's a fixed fee price tariff, it's per annum. So it would be $1,000 tariff per car, $1,000 tariff per swimming pool that you order in, or $1,000 tariff for a machine or whatever per. But if it's levied base, which is the worst, it's on percentage, and that's when you start paying the big bucks. Key takeaways: governments impose tariffs to raise revenue, protect domestic industries, or exert political leverage over another country. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. The political leverage on a country by threatening them tariffs, taxes, taxation, embargoes. Tariffs often result in unwanted side effects such as higher consumer prices, and that's when the poor start to starve. Tariffs have a long and continuous history, and the debate over whether they represent good or bad policy rages on today. So let's move on. Now, these are the list of countries by tariff rate. Back in the day, in 1970, it started in 1970 to 1974, 75, Portugal was the top of the list with the highest tariffs. Portugal's tariffs used to be 26%. Why? Bermuda is the 20%. But do you know why Portugal was? Because the Portuguese and the Portuguese colonies refused to join the World Bank. Portugal refused to be part of what the banking system we have now in the world that's basically robbing everybody. They refused to be part of it. So what happened? The Portuguese were levied and taxed to death. And that's why, Portuguese people are so poor. It's the poorest country in Europe. They were taxed to death for so long, and they couldn't get basic medicines in or anything because the Portuguese refused to join the World Bank. And they were number one. They were 26% tariff on all products. Then, after the fall of the Portuguese Empire and losing all the African colonies and colonies that wanted to stay with Portugal because they knew once the Portuguese left, it was Cuba. Cuban boots on the street. So anyways, let's start off here. Number one country right now with tariffs, Bermuda. Bahamas, number 2. Djibouti, number 3. Gabon, number 4. Cayman Islands, Chad, Equatorial Guinea, Iran, Central African Republic, Solomon Islands, Cameroon, Gambia, Grenada. It's all African countries. Let's move down. Ghana, Togo, São Tomé, Príncipe, Guinea-Bissau, Angola, and all the Portuguese-speaking countries are in here. Brazil. So let's go to the affordable tariffs. So once you pass like Mozambique, it gets a little bit lighter. With Philippines, you end up in the 3% range. And then once you get to Vietnam, Timor-Leste, Peru, you're in the 1% range. And then once you hit the European Union, you're at 1.79% tariffs right across the board. And Costa Rica, you start getting less and less tariffs. The 2 countries without tariffs is Portuguese China, Macau, and Hong Kong, English China, at 0% tariffs. The only 2 countries. Singapore is super low, so is Brunei. Australia is super low. Australia is one of the lowest English-speaking countries in tariffs. So Australia should be easily affordability levels in Australia for the importing of goods and stuff shouldn't be that hard, simply because it's 1%. The United States is 1.6, and then the European Union. Where the hell's Canada in this thing? Oh, there they are, 1.52%. Tariffs. All right, is a list of tariffs right there. So I kind of wanted to throw out my first tariff story for you guys, and someone's telling me to go read a book. Protectionism is a nationalist economic policy. Supreme Canon saying all these cheaper Chinese goods came at a cost of U.S. consumer, and that the finances his consumption with debt instead of production. And then Charlie Brown says, also remove the DHTUL model and funding for activism. Lord Humongous saying, Aztec silver, poor man's money. Han says, Mike, I'm in Australia. It depends on the product. Cars have 100% importing tariffs, as electronics have 15%. Okay. Han, if you want to call into the show, you could go just add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980. 3 Right Guys Gaming Post says, not you, someone else. Well, I can't read, okay? That's why I haven't read a book. Lord Humongous, buy silver online. I was joking, Joe. To Joe, Mike. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Don't worry, I'm not worried. Pretty certain a lot of folks here have not read many books of the subject. LOL. Not recently. I'm broke, liquid cash. All right, guys. So, let me tell you what's happening right now on the live stream, and I can see it on my side. So, I got this little thing going like this showing. So, I went from 80 views. Every time I hit 80 views, and this happened on trends in the housing market, I hit 80 views, boom, it goes right to 40. And it happened, every time it hits 80, it goes back down to 40. And then I got people telling me I got kicked off your stream. Forever a holiday, you need to come on the show. You're talking about, yeah. Yeah, Three Rights podcast. We used to have 150 viewers. Oh, easy. Once it hits 80, I'm seeing the line going like, like a rhythm of a heart, like this. And then it hits 80. And the same thing on Trends in the House Market. The second, that's why I kept watching the viewers. Because when it hits 80 on the dot, boom. All right. So let me tell you my tariff story before I start taking in calls on tariffs, okay? I sell Magic cards, right? Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! I usually sell packages and stuff to kids and people passing through and blah, 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 right? Yeah, see, Forever Holiday saying I got dropped out. He's back again. See, people get dropped out all the time. Had to reload, yeah. Anyways, guys, long story short, there was a Trump tax on playing cards. So my business was affected. I was paying 10% more across the board for playing cards, anything dice, anything game related, right? It says right here, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! So I was paying a 10% increase on everything across the board. And the tariffs were imposed. Okay, so here's the problem with this. Everybody kept calling it a Trump tax. Everybody kept calling it Trump did this. Trump is destroying small business in Canada. Trump is this and Trump is that. And then they even had a video. Oh, Trump's a bully. A guy in a magic store. Trump's a bully. And, okay, guys. Listen to me. Canada put this on. The Canadian government put this 10% tariffs on playing cards, not Donald Trump. So that's how idiotic people are. Oh, it's all Trump's fault. He's ruining small business in Canada. How do you feel, Mike? Somebody from the radio called me. Hi, Mike. We know you own a game store. We're wondering how you feel about this this 10% Trump tax on your playing cards now. How is it affecting your customers? And I'm like, well, it wasn't imposed by Donald Trump. It was actually the Canadian government that imposed this on us, trying to screw us, right? Click, they hang up the phone on me. Nobody wants to hear the truth. W. Pizzets said $5. One day, Mike, I'll become a follower of the path of the bundle. YouTube, okay. Thank you so much. Someone sent me on Super Chat. I don't know how I get paid from that. I don't even know if I get paid because my monetization went to pretty much zero. That's why I'm asking everyone to buy me a coffee on Patreon, $1 a month. If you could afford to do it, $1 a month. Because I'm pretty choked on that. Anyways, so this is not Donald Trump tax on cards. It's the Canadian government's tax on its own companies and damaging its own companies. All right? So let's start getting things straight here before we start blaming Trump for everything when it's our own government that's screwing us. Yep. Forever Holiday is saying, the problem is we are so burdened with shit government, our taxes have made us uncompetitive. Yeah. Yep. 99% of mainstream news left-wing activists. Cool. Yeah, JS, find yourself some good dividend stocks depending on your age, okay, guys? You see, I used to play the risk market, like when marijuana stocks started getting popular, like before they got popular. I just threw a whole pile of money into there, and people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, listen, yes, and Mike, as an investor for many years, I really advise against what you're doing here. Marijuana. And then, boom, cash out at the right time, and you know what I'm saying? Sugar tax is coming, yeah. Japan is falling to ultimate degeneracy just as we expect, a little slower. Yep. Entire government needs an audit and a reorganization. Yep. Suncor stocks is a great stock. I got a ton in Suncor, guys. Oil giant owns wells in Saudi Arabia, owns wells in Qatar, oil owns huge land in Canada and drilling and mines and pipelines. I have Suncor. Suncor has money and Suncor has collateral, dump trucks, employees, factories, drilling equipment. Not some stupid Mickey Mouse tech stock. Oh, I'm a tech company. Invest in me. I have a lease in this building here. Yeah, that's our collateral. We got a lease in 3 computers. That's what we own. Buy our stock for $200. So anyways, there's no such thing as Trump tax. No Trump tax on Canadian cards. It's the Canadian government putting it on. So, U.S. agreed on border policies. So when you go onto the fake news here, I'm just loaded and bombarded with fake news. When you want to look something up on Google, mark these words. You know how YouTube's becoming the new CNN? You know how YouTube's turning into CNN where it's all garbage? We're gonna go on YouTube later, and I'm gonna show you the top videos with 5-10 million views. If I play that video for you guys live here, and just the audio, never mind the video and copyright, the audio, my video will get flagged with the amount of F-bombs and swearing, and it's classified as children material. I'll show you the video I'm talking about, and you watch it on your own time, and you'll see what the hell I'm talking about. So, YouTube is turning into the new CNN. It's going to become like CNN. It's like, whatever. Nobody watches that crap. So now, the mainstream media is shoving millions, if not billions, into YouTube and Facebook. Now, everyone's fleeing those and going to Minds.com and BitChute. YouTube is making one of the worst, Google, Alphabet, one of the worst financial decisions, business decisions of their lives. The worst business decision there. Oh my God! If I was CEO of that company, I would cringe when I see the books in the morning. I would cringe when the market's open and I gotta watch that thing flatline. You know what I'm saying? So when you open the fake news, it keeps talking about how Trump and Mexico deal political win, even if it falls short. So they're trying to make it like he did nothing. Mexico agreed to take border actions before Trump announced territory. And then you go into it, it says, oh, this was already in place months before. Yeah. Mexico planned most actions in border deal before Trump tariff. Bull. Bull. No one gives the guy credit when he does something good. Trump and America are winners by getting Mexico to intensify fight against illegal migration, says Fox News. And Fox News tells it how it is. And basically they were fighting against... Trump says, look, if these illegal migrants are passing through your country, watch out. We're going to put 30% on everything that comes, 50% on everything that comes from your country. We don't care. And Mexico said, okay, yeah, we'll defend our southern border. Because Mexico is a lot more tougher to get into, okay? From the southern border of Mexico, it's a lot tougher to get into Mexico. Because when I went across the border into the other side and stuff, look around, take some pictures, come back, I was interrogated to get back into Mexico. Yeah, so YouTube's becoming the new CNN, guys. So you heard it here first. And U.S. raises tariff on Chinese imports to 25% from 10%. China could go straight to hell. We existed before China, and then now China, basically we sold out our business to China for the cheap labor, and now they came out and bought out our industry, our homes, everything. Okay. Let's get somebody on the phone here. Let's get Charlie here first. Let's see if he's available. I hope he didn't get arrested. We tried to get him on the show last week. All right, he's offline. He is offline. Okay. Who do we got that's online? Who do we got? All right, let's get Supreme Canon on first. Let me see who else is on here. Someone asked, why do you always check if Charlie Brown is arrested? Hey, I'm just kidding, man. Jeez, man. What, can't people get arrested anymore? Jeez. All right. Okay. And he lives in Australia. So in Australia, I mean, anyone that goes out of the status quo, anyone that gets out of the status quo is a target. And I believe in my heart of hearts, for the longest time, that Australia is truly the proving ground for the English-speaking world. It's a good testing ground for what's going to happen in the English-speaking countries. They've already implemented the whole camera system there that they have in China with the social credit scores. They've already implemented it in Darwin, Australia. And the city councillors of Darwin went over to China to check out this technology to bring this back to Australia to protect their people. Yep. And it reminds me, and the reason why I'm so harsh against China the last couple of months, pretty hard against them, is because they're persecuting Christians with the prosecution of Christians for being Christian in China. You get rounded up into camps, and people said that was a lie, that's fake news, and I got reports from people living in different provinces of China. I know people that live in mainland China who travel to Macau on business and then message me from Macau. Penelope is saying, New Zealand has always been called the petri dish to small captive population to test social engineering on. Nice Raptors jersey. Yeah, they're going to win Monday. I know it's not a bandwagon. I'm not a bandwagoner. This is Chris Bosch, and I have Vince Carter. I have them all. Vince Carter. I have even when Thing used to play there. When Raptors just showed up in Toronto when their franchise got expanded. Anyways. Yeah, we need yeah. If Han wants to come on the show, add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980. Okay, guys. Let's get this rolling here. Let's see if we can get Supreme Canon on first. He looks like he's ready to go. Hopefully he's okay. Charlie, I don't know what's wrong with Charlie. He's online, but he's not around. I can never find Supreme Canon on here. It's because when I open his message, he drops to the bottom. All right, let's see if Supreme's here. I just spoke to him a few hours ago.
Hey, buddy.
Yo, what's up, dog?
Oh, this and that, the usual, you know.
Long time no see.
Yeah, been a couple hours, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, did you get your Chinese food?
I did.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Cultural appropriation at its finest.
Yep. My family wanted some Chinese food tonight, and I went to pick it up. And
good deal.
We had a good dinner tonight.
Good deal.
Yeah. So, you know, we went over a few things. We talked, and what do you have to say now that you've been in my store quite a few times and spent a few hours? What do you have to say about my business in my store? A lot of people saying, how the hell you make money selling cards and games? Can you tell them, please?
Supply and demand, buddy. Supply and demand. The number of kids you had going through there who had cash to buy this stuff has always been pretty impressive. A lot of adults coming in and out of there too. The thing about Gundam and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and all of the board games and stuff you have, those are things that I was just never interested in. Like I'm just completely outside of that altogether. And you know this stuff like the back of your hand. And you're able to answer literally any question that anybody had. And I was amazed how many people, even in my age group, were going through there looking for this stuff. Like, it just shocked me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what you're doing. And like you said, too, like you move a lot of volume on eBay, too. Like your store is just a place for you to go and sell stuff locally. You've got a brick and mortar retail outlet, but you move a lot of product online, too, right?
Yep. I showed you my numbers. You seem they were okay.
Yeah, it's a good hustle. You got a good thing going there. You know, it churns the cash. It does what it has to do.
Tell people, without mentioning numbers, how bad my revenue stream has gotten on YouTube.
Oh, it's been just savaged.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they've obviously throttled you back. Like you showed me the stats. What was it? Was it last month? It was 2.4 million views?
Yeah.
And this month it's 1.
Yeah. It dropped to 940. It dropped to 940,000 in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think all of this throttling going on is it's probably kind of a passive aggressive encouragement of right-think. You know, in other words, if you don't want them interfering with you, then you stick to the narrative and don't say things that they consider to be controversial, which of course they decide and you don't. That's the trouble with a proprietary social media like YouTube is, you know, they make up the rules in their home office and they enforce them however they want. It's just another form of, it's trying to force people into line so they can continue to get their dopamine hits and get their money.
Yeah. All right, so tariffs, what is going on? What do you see in your mind of minds with this whole taxation embargo / is it right or wrong? Who wins in tariffs? Go ahead, speak your mind.
Well, if you're gonna have, and I see a lot of opposing opinions even in the comment stream here, but they all make a lot of good points. Joe made some good points. Three Red Guys made some good points. The thing about tariffs, where I see it, is right now when you're talking about America, because that's kind of the one engine the whole world economy runs on. Basically, you got to have America in your portfolio, or you get nowhere. Trump is using them mainly saber rattling. Like he threatened the Mexicans with a tariff, and before the thing even went on, they moved just about 7,000 troops to the border, right? So it makes a difference. Where China's concerned, it'll be the same thing. Like America's trade with China, as in terms of GDP, is actually quite small. It's not huge. It's like 5%, but that 5% devastated American manufacturing. Now, it did result in lower prices for consumers, which is a short-term gain. But the problem is people had to substitute all that manufacturing with building houses and selling them to each other for the last 20, 25 years. Well, that's not going to work. You've got to have other ways to create value. So it may well be that the reason he's trying to whip up this nationalism is to get people used to the idea of paying more money again to buy products made in America, because there's going to be a gap. You know, Joe's right. It's going to hit the importers. It's going to smack them. It's going to be a real problem for them. But if you're going to transition away from a complete open market free trade system that's gutting your industrial base, then there's going to be a gap of time between, Chinese business finding other places to sell their products and American industry actually building something to produce things in the U.S. again. So there could even be shortages. It could result in even higher prices than just a straight tariff until that happens. But he's trying to encourage a certain kind of behavior. But I think where China and Mexico and that are concerned, I don't think he really wants to create enormous trade barriers. It's just a matter of putting some pressure on them to clean up their own house. Like, you can't expect American middle-class workers to compete with Chinese slave labor. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's not fair. And yeah, you got lower consumer prices, but everybody's up to their ass in debt. So, there's no prosperity going on. Like you've said many times yourself, we're not building wealth. We're just building debt now. That's not sustainable. It's going to crash anyway.
Okay, let's take this back one little step, okay?
Okay.
If the stuff was made locally,
Yeah.
then there'd be more jobs available. People would be paid more, and we don't have to go to slave labor because people would just be making more on the offset. And those minimum wage jobs that we have were just pass-through jobs till you get a real job in the real world. And
Yeah.
not minimum wage jobs we have today where people are relying to live off.
Yeah, you need actual middle class paying jobs that generate value. A large part of the North American economy is the service sector. It's like 85% of the American economy is the service sector, which
Yeah, service
is
sector could go to hell.
the service sector can go to hell because well, the thing about the service sector is you're taking money that was created elsewhere. Well, you got two ways to do it. You either borrow it into existence through more, home equity loans, or you produce it by actually generating wealth by mining, manufacturing, or growing things, agriculture. Those are the three main ways that you actually produce wealth. You take a lower order of raw material, turn it into a higher order of raw material, and there's your value. That's why housing has been so big. Like I said, you take sticks and gyprock and concrete and you make these living units, and as long as the money's cheap, then people keep buying them and flipping them and selling them to each other. But as we've seen already, that's created bubbles all over the world, and it's disastrous. So it's North America needs to rebuild its manufacturing base so that it can generate value other than just producing raw materials and more houses that nobody needs.
Exactly. But what happened was this happened in the mid 90s when they created a financialization of our economy. Once
Yeah,
they financialized our economy, then that's it. We lost once everything went offshore, wages no longer meet productivity.
yeah, that's right. It created, yeah, I mean, Walmart Nation did great. Walmart Nation got all kinds of, I call Walmart the Chinese Manufacturing Expo because that's basically what it is now. And it's a disaster for people that used to make that stuff in America. And so if you're going to rebuild American industry, then you're going to have a painful phase where, yeah, you're creating trade, you're putting up trade barriers again with the rest of the world so that American business has an incentive to invest in production facilities in America. But there's going to be a painful gap of a few years till that happens. Like you don't build a tire factory or a car plant or a tractor plant, in a week. These things take years. So there's going to be probably shortages and higher prices, and yeah, importers are going to get smacked. But they also, the U.S. still exports a lot of stuff too. So it'll be tough, but it supposedly a payoff in the end. That's the hope.
Well, looking over numbers and looking over different statistics, and over like the last couple of days on some downtime, I realized that roughly 81% of the population, let's say in the United States, okay, or even 81% of the population in Canada, okay,
Sure.
they should be earning in and around 77 to 81,000 per year for basic, solid middle income jobs. That shouldn't be a problem. To earn that much, but no one's nowhere near earning that as a single one person. You know what I'm saying?
No, they're not. Probably the last time that the middle class had, I mean, the most purchasing power they had was probably in the early 70s. Of course, since that time, right, all the women left home to go to work too, and then you had all these other people that have been coming in. So you had this, like a lot of people, to them, an increase in the population means an increase in economic activity, but they include government spending in GDP numbers. So that doesn't mean anything because the government
GDP
spend like
is a
drunken
bunch
sailors.
of garbage. But
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
But
It's not translating into prosperity on Main Street anyway.
of course, but our productivity is skyrocketed since the late 70s, but
Yeah.
wages haven't.
No, they haven't. Well, they've diluted the labor supply, and of course we've gone to a lot of automation and things like that as well. You're looking for a happy medium, like I've always said. Like it's dynamic, right? Oh well, we'll just close the borders, and then everyone will have well-paying jobs. Well, yes and no. You need raw materials from the rest of the world too, and there are manufactured products where you have natural advantages. In places like Germany, for example. I mean, their technology is second to none. It always has been. Their engineering. And you want to, you probably won't build a Mercedes plant in Detroit because, the Germans make their cars just fine and they want to support their own industry. So it's complicated and dynamic. The thing about tariffs, I think the way the U.S. is applying them mainly is just saber rattling. It's to force better behavior from America's trade partners without renegotiating all the trade deals and throwing up tariff barriers and getting into a tariff war like they had in the early 30s. The Smoot-Hawley tariffs, for example, that was the idea. It was to encourage American industry to reinvest and get things going again, because thousands of banks went under, and that's where most people had their money back then. There weren't a lot of people with money in the stock market. The crash in 29 it was the start of the problem, but it was when all these bad investments finally caused the collapse of a bunch of banks a couple of years later that things really went down. Well, throwing tariffs on at that point probably didn't help the situation. But the thing they needed was they needed more money. They needed more capital.
And I'm seeing it that since the financialization of our economy, I'm noticing that there is little to no investment in human capital anymore. And
No.
And here's the thing, and how it's been so decentralized, right? That in the 1980s, roughly, there is trillions of dollars in Delta, right?
Yeah.
And most of that money just went to the banks.
Yeah. A lot of them, they have to hold a certain percentage of reserves against their liabilities. And I suspect, and I'm not an expert on this subject, so feel free, anybody, to correct me here, but a lot of their assets are worthless. I mean, you still have a lot of mortgage-backed securities and collateralized debt obligations and all of these derivatives that the banks held on their balance sheet for many years, and they needed that cash to cover them as well. I mean, when you got a quadrillion dollars face value of derivatives out there, you've got to hold billions in free money just to make sure that's covered so that you don't die. They're not going to let the banks go down. If the banks go down, how's the government, even if they came out with a universal basic income or something like that? Everybody has a bank account. The governments use direct deposit. If nobody has a bank account, the government can't get any money to anybody. So they're always going to back the banks. But they've been probably trying to encourage them to lend. But everyone is still pretty shaky.
Yeah, because I think it's when people start to get real wages, we can start to see a strong economy. That's plain and simple. And we need to have more organized labor outside of governing.
Yes.
And start to actually grow our private sector jobs. Now, public sector could go straight to hell. I'm talking about private sector jobs, good paying private sector jobs. And we did the show last week, The Death of the Pension. Back in the day, companies would give you these attractive bonuses for joining them. Free dental, free glasses, free this, free Medicare, free this if you join us, because we really need you to come to us. Now, you're lucky if you even get minimum wage.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. In a lot of places, they expect you to work as an unpaid intern for a year or two. Like it's getting to be so only the well-heeled people can afford to, that can backstop their children to get into certain careers or pay for their student loans or even to buy a house. Obviously, we've seen baby boomers raiding their RSPs to for their kids to continue to support that. Well, they didn't think of it as supporting the housing market, but basically that's what they were doing, was keeping it propped up. Whether they thought in those terms or not. Yeah, wages need to come up. And the thing is, with the progressive income tax system like we have in Canada, if everybody in the country got bumped up one tax bracket, well, they're happier, they're making more money, the government's happier because now they've got more free cash to finance their debt and equalize things and invest in infrastructure and make more political promises to buy more votes. Everybody wins in a case like that. But there seems to have been this impetus towards globalization and a completely open, free trading global economy for, well, at least since the mid 70s, say. And there might have been advantage to it, and everybody says studies show it increases prosperity. Well, it might be increasing prosperity in India and China, but it's not doing that here.
Okay.
Not really.
All right. Speaking of tariffs, I want to go to a little bit off topic. We discussed this today at the store. I really want to bring this up right now. Where did I put that article? About those warships that showed up to Australia to steal their to raid their baby formula.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, apparently that's been going on for a while. I mentioned in the comments there, but when U.S. warships show up to port, I mean they clean out all the alcohol, right?
Yeah.
So the Chinese cleaning out the baby formula is probably actually kind of benign. There's a black market in this stuff because the Chinese stuff is crap and it's poisonous. And I read a couple articles related to that when I got home, and there were a couple of people involved in Chinese milk production who were put to death by the government for it.
Hmm.
Like they just try to cut corners, and this is part of the reason why there's a backlash against that now here in the West, is because they'll flog off whatever junk they want onto their people. We are expecting quality control here, and we're not getting it. So there's also a reaction in that regard as well. It's like, okay, well, if we're increasing global prosperity and we've all got this great world to look forward to, well, then I guess it's okay, well, we'll wait and we'll be patient. But when you're getting, crappy food and you're getting plastic contamination in the rice and you're getting nanoparticles in the baby formula, and even the Chinese are trying to, buy up everything that the Australians have. I noticed that the you mentioned too in that article when I was at your store, the Australian Prime Minister knew those Chinese ships were coming, didn't bother to tell anybody. Well, China and Australia are at peace. I mean, there might be a trade war, but it's not a shooting war. They're not technically at war. So if they gave their sailors, 24 hours of shore leave, and the first thing they do is go.
Hello? Oops. I think I hung up by accident on Supreme Canon. I was cleaning up my desktop. That's my fault, Supreme.
Oh, no problem.
You there?
No
Okay,
problem.
yeah, short
Yeah,
leave. Yeah,
I'm here.
continue. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I was just waiting for this thing to give up on me. It does it sometimes. It doesn't look good, and it's not. It's something I'm sure the people there found to be a little bit jarring that 3 Chinese warships sailed into harbor, and but they didn't take off with the women and the cattle. I mean, they took off with a bunch of baby formula. So it's a pain in the rump for people that want to feed their babies in Australia, or at least in Sydney or wherever they landed. But it's not an act of war yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take on it, anyway.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, I'm gonna kick you off the show and
Okay, man.
see if we get someone else to call in. And
Sure.
I appreciate you coming into the store tonight.
Oh, it's good to see you, man. It's been too long. Like I said, I meant to last week, but I had some things I had to
I
do.
know you told me that story, and that was pretty sad. Hey, what should we do about next week's show?
Well, we're getting into summer pretty quick. It might be time to think about elections.
What about wet T-shirt contest?
Wet T-shirt contest? Well, I'm not signing up for that just because the good people of Canada have seen it's Pride Month. I think they've seen enough
Okay.
horror for 1 month. Maybe in July we'll do a wet T-shirt contest.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
All right. Well, keep me on the pulse. Let me know if you got an idea. Just go ahead and text me or message me, please. An
Sure.
idea for next week's show. There's so much to talk about. I think the maybe the delusionalized people not seeing the mass homelessness and watching America turning into a third world poop hole.
Yeah, well, I would be curious to know. I wonder if there is anybody in San Francisco, for example, who's actually been interviewed, what they think about this situation, because they seem to be tolerating it, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of electoral upheavals happening anywhere in California, which surprises me, because I would even think if you were a left-wing, wingnut, that sooner or later you'd get tired of that, and you'd want some kind of a change. I don't know what they think they're expecting to accomplish by letting this continue.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
But well, we're gonna see what happens. Anyways, keep me on the pulse. Let me know what you want. What you think is a good idea, guys. In
Sure
the
thing.
comments, if you want to do a show, let me know. Supreme Canon in the house, and we should do a meet and greet. Maybe at the store sometime. Maybe in the late summer. What do you think?
I'm down for that. Yeah, name the day. I'll be there.
Yeah, we should do a meet and greet. Maybe get some coffee and donuts for everybody.
Sure. Yeah, and if there's anybody within a 50 or 100-mile radius that wants to come and meet up in meet space and trade some notes for a while, I'm totally down for that anytime.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Supreme.
Okay, buddy. Have a great night.
too.
God bless everyone.
God bless you. Supreme Canon, what a great guy, was in the store today. And, yeah, in the store, spent some time with me, always spends time with me, spends a couple hours, right? And we go over things, talk about things. And, yeah, you know, Bitcoin's becoming a big thing. But this here, right here, this one here is bothering me. This one right here. I'll show you what's, this. Typhoid fever in Los Angeles, in a first world city, turning into this. I got some friends down there. Look at that, Hollywood Boulevard this way. Really? So we got to talk about this next. I think we need to talk about third countries, first world countries turning into third world heaps of God knows what. Oh, let's do a quick woo, 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 woo. Woo! All right, who else is out there? Who else is out there? Guys, don't forget to add me on my Skype is Mike Martins 1980. Can I get the 3 right guys calling in? Leif, can you call in, buddy? You always got some positive discussion. Really good discussion with Leif. And I want to show you guys here. I'm going to go to my YouTube here, and I'm going to show you guys trending. And if I play this video on my channel, not because of copyright, the amount of F-bombs and swearing in this video is absolutely phenomenal. This was the top video yesterday. Let's see if it's still here. I want to find it for you guys. Right here. High school dropouts take finals featuring the Dolan twins. I have no idea who these people are. All I know is that one guy has an earring on his left ear. That's all I could see from here. And the amount of F-bombs in this, and it's got 8 million views 4 days ago. Yep. Someone saying, Viva Portugal, I cannot speak Portuguese. Mike seems a bit zoned out tonight. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just kind of, you know what it is, guys? When I'm doing this, I'm a one-man show. I got this going on. I got the comments going on. I got the live stream I got to watch through backup to make sure it doesn't go down. I got my clock to the right. I got Skype messages coming in. I got show messages down there. I got shout-outs over there. There's a lot happening at the same time. So there's a lot happening. And then W. Pitzel says, he seems pretty on point, in my opinion. 69 watching. Right Guy says, he's probably just a long, hot summer day. I had a few drinks. Who cares? And 3 Right Guys saying, I didn't say I have a problem with it, dude. Jeez, what? Mike is multitasking. Yeah, you better believe. There's so much multitasking here that when somebody comes on, like Supreme Canon did, that actually alleviates some off me so I could watch the 74 gauges. It's like I'm driving a submarine. What do you do with a submarine? Do you drive a submarine, or do you glide a submarine, or do you swim a submarine? Yeah, anyways. So I'm watching all these gauges, you know? Woo! Okay, so this video right here, 8 million views, and I thought, okay, I'm going to look at this thing. How does this have 8 million views? I'm watching it, and I didn't even get through, I think it was 20 seconds of, maybe 3 minutes of this. It was, what the, So this is what is hot right now. Like, this is fake news. Look at this. The Try Guys $850 food challenge. They're eating Indian food. They paid $850 for Indian food. That's a lie. You could buy India for $800. What are these guys making up these lies for? Anyways, I'm just joking about it. But no, like, you have to watch this. It's called High School Dropouts Take Finals. Watch it. I don't want to be involved with if your algorithm gets all screwed up and then you have this crap coming up on your feed. I don't want this crap coming up on your feed. It might poison your mind in a way, like give you brain damage. You should now have reached a point, you should just focus on being happy, you know? Woo! And if you woke, you know the world's economic system is going to burn and civil racial tension is going to kick off into civil war. Better to be positive and just relax. Lucas Spider is trending on YouTube. Who the hell is Lucas Spider? Is he friends with SpongeBob? Hurry up and get your charger. Yep. Lord Humongous has to go plug in his phone. Hey guys, where are you, Leif? Can you call me, buddy? I'd like to talk to Leif for a bit. I like Leif. He's always got some spin on what's going on, you know? Supreme Canon's still there. It's probably less than 10 years until the big poop show kicks off. What? The cutest spider in the world? Here we go, we got Leif. Yo, what's up, dog?
What's going on, Mike?
Not much. Dude, what's going on with these Okay, first, before we do that, how does this video have 8 million views that was posted 4 days ago and there's about 44 F words in it?
Well, it's simple. YouTube, did you hear what happened with Steven Crowder recently?
Isn't that the guy who was kicked off of something recently?
No, some what was that fiasco? There was some journalist, I forget what journalist, CNET maybe was it?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Some journalist tried to deplatform him because he had some shirts he was selling that was slightly offensive. And because Steven Crowder has about 3 million subscribers, and YouTube's also under a lot of scrutiny these days, they don't, because if they censored him, then YouTube can't really push their narrative in Congress when they're all being asked questions and all that stuff. They could say, "Oh, we let Steven Crowder go when he was doing this, and we didn't censor him." So you know what I mean? It suits their narrative not to kick Steven Crowder off. But and then another thing is like these bigger YouTube channels, they can pretty much get away with murder. You remember that one guy that poked that dead body and videotaped it in Japan?
Yes, when he went.
What was it, Logan Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got away with that. Like a normal person would have been kicked off for that, especially if it went viral. And all his videos go viral when you're at that stage or how large your channel is, right?
Yeah, that's scary because it's
a double standard.
Yeah, that's the sad part. And the decline of my channel, I mean, I worked hard many years to build this channel, and going against all the scrutiny and going against all the bad comments and stalkers and idiots, and they're just shutting me down like nobody. I know it doesn't look like I got much with 10,000 subs, but it's a good community we have here.
You have to work hard for your first 1,000 or 500. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The sad part with you is once you get to 10,000, that's when it's supposed to get easier, but it's the opposite for you. It's gone downhill.
Yeah.
The thing is maybe about a month ago, you were getting on average 150 viewers, and as soon as you hit 10,000, I noticed you stopped growing. You were getting like 100 a day, so every 10 days you get another 1,000. All that momentum, just as soon as you hit 10, it's like maybe when an account reaches 10,000, you get basically an account individual review from some employee. I don't know how there's no I have no idea what goes on at YouTube, how they run this stuff. One of my game trailers got approved, and then it got disapproved when I tried to resubmit it and fix some audio from dual channel to mono. Mm-hmm. I don't know why that happened. I don't really know what YouTube's rhyme to reason is, but it's obviously you've been somewhat soft-centered, or I would find it really high, statistically speaking, it looks like it would be very odd if you weren't being censored at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no proof, but I would, if I was a betting man, I would say you were.
Yeah. So, when you get a chance later, Leif, watch this called High School Dropouts Take Final Test, featuring the Dolan twins. It's got 8 million views later on, and everybody watch this thing, and see what's got 8 million views, you will not sleep tonight because that's how bad it is.
Oh, nothing surprises me anymore. The last time I got surprised was a couple of months back when apparently a judge let someone off scot-free in the U.S. after he raped and caged his own daughter, and he got caught, and they just let him go for that. They gave him a slap on the wrist. But then they suggested that he submit to sex offender. That I was actually shocked by that, but it takes a lot to shock me anymore at this point.
So are you on Minds.com now?
I've not on Minds. I'm on BitChute, but BitChute's more like a backup. I don't know if you're aware, but Minds and BitChute do also censor. It's not just free open. It's not the Wild West over there, as like much people like to think. Mm-hmm. If you look at their TOS terms, it's nice to have it, but I wouldn't. And same with DLive, they do a lot of censoring as well. There's really no alternative.
Okay, but well, you know, my stuff isn't bad, so I mean, if they're going to censor me, then
I know.
Just go home.
No. You should be fine, but I mean, they do censoring is what I meant.
Yeah.
Not, how invasive it is or how much, I don't think is much. Same with Gab. Gab was shutting people down too, especially after that guy shot up the synagogue, and then they all panicked, right? Mm-hmm. They were forking over emails and handing them right over to the police.
Okay. Well, I am on Minds.com if everybody wants to join, and then BitChute, I'm on BitChute too, and that's working too.
I noticed there was one issue with BitChute. If you go to BitChute right now, just check the website and then go search your name. You'll notice you won't come up in the SEO, the search engine.
Well,
it doesn't do it for me either, to be honest with you. But I noticed their search engine is broken or something.
Yeah, you know why? It's because I'll tell you why. It's because I only joined a week ago, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because when I joined YouTube, like my first channel, and you're on my second channel now. When I started my second channel, I think it was in 2012 or 2014. I can't remember when I started the second channel, but I could tell you that it took about a year and a half till I saw myself in there.
In BitChute or YouTube? Because
YouTube.
Do you know how to set metadata and do your tags and everything?
Yeah, I do all that stuff.
Okay, so you know how to properly set tags to get into the searches and,
Yeah. Maybe we'll go over it together one day. You could go over and kind of refresh me on it. I just tag what I'm saying. Maybe you should sit down with me one time over Skype and maybe teach
you just got to figure out how to do the tags properly. And I wouldn't use the term abuse the SEO, but you need to make sure that you're optimizing it to the best of your ability, right? Like even maybe if you can get like a couple of misspelled words, put that in the tag or whatever is going to be like what little videos I got on my channel, they at least pop up on the first. Like it usually takes a day or two so they can get indexed. But even like my live stream that I have set up for tomorrow, do
you have a live stream tomorrow?
I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, but it's set for tomorrow. I have to see. Probably not. I actually have to get one of the people to have their mic set up properly. Well, I don't want them echoing anymore on the stream. It was horrible.
Well, you could call me if you want me on the show.
Oh, it's we're playing Tales of Symphonia. It's just like an old game from the earlier 2000s.
Okay.
It's nothing. It's just a little hobby thing I do.
Me too. I do my hobby video game reviews, Handheld Junkie.
Yeah, what I was thinking I was gonna set up because I got drunk one night and I realized that I couldn't play a game with my friends, so I had to figure out some third-party software to turn a local co-op into an online. And then from there, what I managed to do is I found some third-party software. Then I had to make sure everyone's internet connections. Then I had to rent a cloud computer. It was really complex, but then after doing all that work, I figured might as well throw up on a channel. And then from a channel, I had to learn how to video edit, which has been fun. It's become a little tiny side hobby, at least something for me to do in my spare time, keep me entertained, I guess. But nothing that major. I'm not really putting too much work into it, but it's fun. As far as the tariffs go, I think we have different opinions on that. I'm kind of in the pro-tariff camp. I realize it's bad for consumers, but I also realize that globalization is slowly killing us. It's like the death of 1,000 cuts, right?
Well, it's also the financialization and deregulation of the banking system that has basically also kept us poor.
It's a combination of so many different factors all hitting all at once at the door, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just, oh, tariffs, fix that. It's everything combined into one. It makes one fine of example. Like the people that are against tariffs, tariffs is just it's basically the thing is China's a fascist country. They're not a communist. They're fascist. People always get confused just because they call themselves communists. They're not. They fuse private enterprise with the government. That's the definition of fascism. They're also socialists. One could make a point that they're national socialists in a really, it's the definition, right? They fit in all the definitions there. They're not communists. They don't fit the definition of communists. They don't. So they're just not commie anyways. But the point of the matter is, it's very hard to compete with them because they have slave labor. They don't really have free trade. We don't have free trade with China. They dump their shit on our markets and kill our manufacturers. We can't just go into their domestic market and sell whatever we want.
Well, it's like when China tried to control the honey business. China, what they did was they started creating this corn syrup sugar crap, and they started flooding U.S. markets with fake honey. And then all the bee farmers started losing their jobs all across the West Coast, and bee farmers started shutting down business because they couldn't keep up with the junk fake sugar. So what they did was they put embargoes on Trump put embargoes on Chinese sugar, or honey, if you want to call it that, and China went and actually exported it to Vietnam, and then from Vietnam went around the corner and still shipped it to the U.S. through a different country. So China's always looking for a way to shut down America.
Yeah, that's another thing with the TPP. Even though the TPP is it's almost like a blueprint to a counterbalance, or at least the way it's been set up now. It's still an ugly deal, but what the TPP is to basically economically counterbalance, and that's why Japan's leading it, because Japan and China hate each other. They've had their feud going on since before World War II, actually, because Japan was they were invading prior to the World War II between the U.S. and breaking out. But there's a lot of blood there. Like, even my girlfriend, I have a lot of good Chinese friends that I love and adore, and my boss is Chinese, and I'm very grateful to have him around. But my girlfriend, she talks about Koreans. She's Japanese. She talks about Koreans and Chinese. Oh my God. They hate each other, I think. I don't think my boss hates them, but I know there's a lot of nationalists that go on. But the thing is Japan, you know why Japan visited Canada when China was basically coming at us hard in that 1 week? What was it, last month? Mm-hmm. Like, they were hitting us hard in the span of basically 7 days. And then the Japanese
China can go straight to hell.
No, but the Japanese Prime Minister, President Abe, that's why he came to visit. He was trying to capitalize on how China was treating us. And our stupid-ass Prime Minister, he fucking said, our deal with China. You remember Trudeau? He called the President Abe the Chinese leader, basically, twice. Mm-hmm. Or he called Japan China. And it was like, our relationship with China.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That guy's up to lunch. That guy is just a waste of... Yeah.
That was the worst thing you could do, man. Are you kidding me? The Japanese Prime Minister was trying to capitalize on the fact that China was bullying us, and then here our dumb Prime Minister makes the worst diplomatic spat ever. Abe is a very nice guy, but still, that was cringeworthy. But I digress. So the Japanese are trying to gear up for, basically they're going to try. I think what's going to happen to China in the end is they're going to end up like the USSR, and India is looking to stab them in the back whenever they get any chance they can, because they're competitors. And what they're doing in the South China Sea is they're pissing off all their neighbors, Malaysia, even the Vietnam. They're not respecting anyone's international waters. They're trying to toss around the heavy weight.
They're stealing dirt from Mozambique, from Portuguese Africa. They're stealing dirt to build these fake war islands off the coast of China.
China only has one real ally, and I forget what one. I think it's Bhutan, not Bhutan. It's the one they do have one ally, and then North Korea, I suppose.
Who's got an ally?
China has one ally in Asia. That's about it.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, no, my boss was telling me about it. Well, let me look at a map real quick.
China has an ally?
Yeah, it's I was kind of surprised, actually.
On Earth?
Oh yeah.
Planet Earth.
Not Myanmar. Laos? No, I don't think it's Laos. Cambodia? I think it's Cambodia. Yeah, Cambodia is their only friend.
Well,
Because, like, you can't really call North Korea China's friend because North Korea is more like a vassal, right? So I think Cambodia is, I believe it was Cambodia was telling me. Cambodia, it's because of all the investment, and it wasn't, the only country that China has not given predatory investment in a sense was Cambodia. But I think the Cambodia people are starting to get fucking sick and tired too, though. So, yeah, so I'm looking at the map here. You got Japan that's trying to basically be the counter bit. They're trying to be their own leader, right, of their own faction. It's like, they have to get South Korea on there, even though they don't like each other. They're like basically frenemies. They got the Philippines. They're getting they hate China. Vietnam, Indonesia, the Vietnam. They got Australia's getting angry.
Australia hates China too, big time.
And the thing with
The
India.
problem is, here's
and
the
then
problem: when these countries are doing deals with each other, it's always the Nimrods that get voted in that like everything, but then the people don't like it. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's all the shady deals going on, all the back pocket. You don't have to bribe someone flat out. You can just give his nephew a really good job with a retarded amount of payout.
Right.
There's ways they go around they break the law through the bribery. So you have India, right? And you've known they've had a lot of conflicts and border skirmishes.
In the northeastern part of India, the
China.
the Indo-China gateway passage there, the walk.
It's over water, right?
No. It's the border of on the northeast part of India. Borders part
Tibet.
of China, and that part right there, the Sindhu, India, China.
Yeah, they've had a lot of border conflicts and actual skirmishes
in the
military
60s,
conflicts.
In the 60s.
Well, they had a couple of years back again. But the thing with India is their water supply. Like Tibet, the reason they took over Tibet ages ago.
That was in 46.
Yeah, it was so they could take the water supply, man, to India. So India doesn't like China. India and China might get along, and they might be a brick nations and all that good glory stuff, but they actually hate each other. And the thing is India would love to replicate what China's done. And where China, all this economic growth, they learned it from I believe it was Singapore, but that's off topic. See, the thing with China and India is they don't like each other. They're both competitors, they're rivals in their own right? So you have Japan, who is the third world's largest economy, trying to create a counterbalance, and all these countries in the South China Sea have been basically shafted and had, China's throwing their weight around. China, if you look on a map, they don't have many friends. They've pissed off everybody. So what I think is going to end up happening to China in the next decade or whatever is they're going to end up like Russia during the Cold War. And they're just like, if you look on a map, there's India, you got all these surrounding countries. If they blockade China, where are they going to send their shit? They're going to send it to Russia? I don't think so. Maybe Kazakhstan, sure, but no one's going to be buying their stuff. They're just going to get isolated. They're going to get cut off, and that'll be it. The miracle growth will be dead.
Well, China needs to surrender those countries back, like Nepal, all those countries that got that wasn't Nepal. What was that? Tibet, all the countries that got Manchuria. Manchuria was its own country until after World War II. China took over Manchuria and made it a province of China.
Wasn't Manchuria originally a part of China though, before the Japanese came in and turned it into a puppet nation, or am I wrong?
Manchuria was an independent, like it was an autonomous province. It wasn't part of China. They used a different currency
wasn't it the homeland or the home province of the current sitting emperor at the time?
I think it was in Chungking.
Oh.
No
idea.
It was in Chungking. I think so. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Like, yes, people are saying don't blame Chinese people. I'm not blaming Chinese people. I'm blaming the CP.
It's the Chinese government.
I don't
blame the Chinese people.
They're brainwashing their citizens, and all this crap, and putting Christians into internment camps.
My big brother was born in Guangdong province, which is north of Hong Kong, and he hates the Chinese government. He hates the communists.
Everybody hates
his grandfather fought on the side of the Kuomintang government that fled. That's the legitimate government as far as I'm concerned of China. If you want to, but they fled to Taiwan. That's how that's the romance of it. And then his father ironically fought on the side of the communists. Which I asked him, I'm like, what's that like knowing that your father was fighting your grandfather? He didn't really have much opinion on it, though.
Hold on. I got New Beginnings in the comments section. She does not know who Kevin Thompson is. New Beginnings 101 is saying, real Kevin Thompson, have you got a channel? I would like to come and see your data and how you came up with your information and facts. If maybe you should start your own. New Beginnings, she's from Australia. I just want you to know, Kevin Thompson is just a troll on here. Yeah, just...
Is he a troll? I don't think he's fully a troll, to be honest. He doesn't always talk shit. He's just pro-pump.
Yeah,
he's pro-pump. He's a bag holder is what the problem is. He's not a troll.
Yeah.
I don't know. Morning coffee with Mike.
He trolled
with that last
house. He was talking about how it was bought out and didn't buy a house and blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, I'm not spending $2 million on a bungalow built in 1910. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the people that are going long on the housing in the cities, do they have any idea what kind of systemic issues is going on in society? Like, do you want to have all your money pocketed in one area? That's beyond me.
Everything. Your house broke. Okay, here it is, guys. Here it is. Look, I have it here. Where was that article from Zero Hedge? With those cities like Seattle, Los Angeles, San Diego, Vancouver, even cities like little cities, Chilliwack, in the interior of BC, Chilliwack. What's that other one? Maple Ditch, Vernon. All those places are turning into hellholes right now. Kelowna.
Oh, dude, you know, Chilliwack has been taking in homeless for long before the. You know, when you were talking about the homeless, the psych ward woman from Surrey Memorial,
mm-hmm.
they've been dumping their homeless on Chilliwack for a couple of years now, actually.
Yeah, they pay for their taxi and send them out of town.
Yeah, but they've been dumping the homeless there. You know, ever since like they started kicking them out of East Vancouver, and then they kicked them out of Wally, and now they're kicking them out of Newton, and now they're flooding into Langley. Then they start kicking them out of Langley. Where do they go? They go to Abbotsford, or they go to Chilliwack, right? And Chilliwack, it does not have the finances to deal with. Like Chilliwack, it's okay, but it's not a major town that can deal with the city's intake of homeless and their problems. That seems to be what's going on. It's just the inner city dumping on the. I don't know. My parents got sick and tired of living in Chilliwack. You know, crackheads coming in, trying to steal bottles constantly. It's just getting worse and worse, man. Mm-hmm. Dude, there was like a fire that got set and a bunch of stuff got dumped into the river because of the homeless camp that was setting up. Like, I wish there was like a way to deal with that. These people should be sent back to the cities they came from. It's not the small towns' problems. Might be harsh. Maybe you know, it's like a little microcosm of nationalism going on there. Get the hell out of my town.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But you know what? And I'll be really frank with you on this one. It happened in 2010 when Vancouver had the Olympics, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2012 or 2010 when Vancouver had the Olympics. The bummage was completely removed from the city. It was a clean city. And they bust everybody to different cities.
Yeah, no, and you know, there's another thing. I've heard rumors, but I have no way to back it up. But I heard rumors that Ottawa's been, or Toronto, or the Ontario's been sending their homeless to BC for ages too. They just ship these people around. They try to dump them on other people.
Well, Nevada did it. Las Vegas, they shipped a bunch of people to San Francisco, and the San Francisco, you know, they're very liberal and stuff. They're like, yes, come, we'll help you, you know? Yeah. They did it on South Park.
How did you like it when Trump started dumping all these people, the migrants on the liberal strongholds in Florida? I thought it was hilarious.
Well, let them deal with it, right? If they want it, let them have it.
They didn't seem to want it all of a sudden. Where was the welcoming diversity?
I know. Where was the parades and the attractions and, you know what I'm saying?
Did you hear about Laura Thun's documentary, Borderless? She's from Abbotsford, by the way. She's a fellow British Columbian. I don't know if you knew this, but Laura she's from Abbotsford.
Oh, yes. You know where I used to see her? I used to see her on Granville Street in nightclubs.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I never saw her anywhere.
Yeah, no, I was single for about 8 or 9 years. And I think I spoke to every girl in Vancouver.
Oh, jeez.
And everyone told me I was either too short, or I don't look good enough, or I am fat, or I don't have enough education, or whatever.
I got myself my Japanese waifu. I don't really need any other bits anyways. But I digress. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, no, she came out with the Borderless documentary. It was very well done.
Okay.
YouTube tried to flag it down, but it's worth checking out. She was very actually apathetical in it, even though you kind of make your own conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
But it showcased the corruption with the NGOs and how they've been money laundering and all the violence.
What's it called? Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, Laura Southern Borderless. I don't know if there's a trailer, but I'll check it out. It's very well done. It's almost AAA budget at that point. I was kind of struck.
Oh, here it is.
YouTube tried.
Hour and 27 minutes.
It's worth watching. I think you'll like it. And it provides some really good undercover journalism.
Okay. Well, here it is, guys. Okay, Leif, I want to thank you for calling in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we didn't get to talk too much about tariffs. So, or now I wanted to talk about one thing. So, say gold and silver took back control, or Bitcoin took king. Do you think that would create more income inequality in the world we live in?
Yes, it will.
Or do you?
It will.
So you already know that then?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. If people that think gold and silver, yeah, it's great to protect yourself in gold and silver, but anyone that would want to live in a gold and silver world, and if you don't have gold and silver, you know how dark and evil that would be. Mm-hmm. If you think income equality is bad now, you have no, and there will be no growth. Why if the current system paradigm is gold is king, right? Mm-hmm, that's the new form of cash. Why the hell would I invest my money in your business, give you a chance, when the money I hold is deflationary? There's no reason for me to invest. There'll be no growth. There'll be growth, but there won't be near as much growth. There's no reason to invest. I'll be like, well, I have $1 million worth of gold, and why would I want to invest in your risky business? Because my gold is constantly increasing in value year over year, right?
That's correct. Because
it's deflationary. It would actually be a very frightening world to live on if you were on the wrong end of it when the paradigm shifted. Mm-hmm. And I don't think a lot of people ever think about this. It's almost like a creepypasta when you actually delve into what would actually occur. But, it's a different opinion, one you don't really hear often, I suppose.
Yeah, no, it's us going on a different standard, a higher standard, or a more back standard will leave about 30% of the population instantly in poverty.
Oh, yeah, whenever there's a new paradigm shift, if you're on the wrong end of it, you get slaughtered. Mm-hmm. You got to be ahead of the cycle, or at least know the cycle is coming, or you will be screwed. It's a wealth transfer. That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. It's wealth changing from one hand to another, right? So
let me ask you a question. Do you think Nancy Pelosi's drunk tonight?
I heard people that they were setting up the videos to troll her. I have no idea. That chick is she's so R-word, to be more PG on it. She's I don't know how Nancy Pelosi and what's the name of that other chick, the black lady. They're so stupid.
Is she drunk too?
It's their ditz is on another level.
Oh,
I don't know how there's ditzes like that, even like in office of holding any office.
Oh, dude, do you remember this?
It's like it's Dumb and Dumber, basically. No, I don't really. It's idiot. You know what it is? It's like watching the movie Idiocracy every time Nancy Pelosi opens her mouth. I don't know how Chuck Schumer puts up with it.
My favorite is Occasional Cortex.
What?
Occasional Cortex. Ocasio-Cortez?
I'm not familiar.
Oh, come on. Ocasio-Cortez? AOC?
Sorry, not ringing any bells.
Okay. Are you watching my transmission?
No. Usually when we're always doing the talk, I put it on pause so it doesn't interrupt.
Here she is. AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I'll mute you, and then it should be fine. Oh! Okay, well, she's not as dumb as Nancy Pelosi, but she's pretty dumb.
Oh, no, this lady's out to lunch.
No, I think Nancy Pelosi's still pretty,
we need to have a
I know she's stupid. I know this woman is not intelligent. She's just Nancy Pelosi's on a different level. That's all.
Okay, we have to have a poll. I'll have a poll on my community section there on my page. Who is dumber?
Maxine,
AOC?
you got to put Maxine Waters. That was the other woman I was thinking of.
Yeah, and she's a leftist, right?
She's also. What's the best word for stupid? I don't know. I was trying to like not flag your stuff. I would have said the R word.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just tuning into this broadcast, this show is rated R for retarded. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, they're all. I think I don't know who's. I think Cortez is number 3rd, but I'm not sure if Maxine Waters or Nancy's. I think Maxine's the most stupid, to be honest, and I think then second goes to Nancy, and then I think Cortez is 3rd.
The dumbest. I honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I really think so.
I have to look more into her, but I really don't like listening to these people talk because like. It's just.
It'll end up. Well, you get brain damage listening to these people talk.
Exactly. That's my point. Exactly. Yeah. I don't even get offended. I don't even get triggered by them. It's just, I just feel my brain cells. I might as well just go down a bottle of Crown Royal.
Yeah.
I'll probably have more brain cells by the end of it.
Yeah. Okay, Leif. Thanks for calling tonight. God bless you.
Hey, you have a wonderful night, Mike.
Hopefully, I'll see you next Saturday. Or hear from you next Saturday.
Sounds good, buddy.
Take care.
Ciao for now.
Bye. All right, let's get back on track with, okay, Low Roll Scratcher says she is liberal. Steve Ross says, my kids can no longer listen to Mike in the Night. Oh, give me a break. Serious, what happened in Ontario, Canada about Christians? In Ontario? What is happening about Christians in Ontario? Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I know they're bashing Christians everywhere, and okay, what else is going on here, guys? All right, let's get some woo from Ric Flair. Woo! Okay, what I was gonna do something when I got Leif off the phone, and I was gonna. We got Solid Extra here. I'm not sure who this is. See who else is on here. Leif called in. Really good to talk to Leif. Wonder what everyone else is up to. Pastor David Lynn. Okay, let's look this up. Pastor David Lynn was arrested. All right, let's see what's going on. So we covered quite a bit of sanctions and tariffs, how it affects us, how it's going to affect everybody. Let's go here. Christians being silenced. Pastor arrested after preaching love in LGBT. Preacher released on bail after demonstrating in church. Wellesley Village. Swarmed a pastor and was arrested. So this gentleman here, before I get into any audio here, I just want to see if I got the right person. Yeah, there he is right there. I know this guy. I've been watching this guy for years. I've been actually watching this guy for years. This guy's really good. This guy's really good. Here he is there. Here he is there with his GoPro. Yeah, there he is there. I know who this guy is. I know who this guy is. Yeah, the church has done the square, right? I think that's where it is from. Yeah, this guy's everywhere. Yep. Okay, what's going on? It's called ChristForgiveness.com. So back to tariffs, guys. Tariffs. It's going to affect everybody in the worst way. Tariffs are basically starving out. At the beginning of the show, I said, basically, a good way to set up tariffs back in the Middle Ages, in the old days, and the biblical days, was basically starving people out. Standing your army around the castle, standing your army around the city's borders, and starving the people at their own game. Now it's gotten about money and tariffs, and that's passing it on to the consumers and impoverishing the population. Okay, let's go here. Let's look here. Someone's asking about oil. Oil's just under, what, 54 bucks? Or 56 bucks a barrel? Yeah, I'm telling you guys, why is China pouring money into the Arctic? Of course China's pouring money into the Arctic. They're pouring devalued currency into the Arctic. They're going to try and colonize economically, colonize whatever they can. Most of Africa, most of all different, along the Silk Road, everything. This show is rated R for real. Real Kevin Thompson wants to start a fight with me tonight, saying, "Go buy a house in Vancouver, Mike." Yeah, I'm spending $2 million. Okay, Elizabeth's asking to share this website on local media. Where to go? I think it's called ChristForgiveness.com. Yeah, oil is the most traded commodity on the markets, and it's the most undervalued commodity on the markets. It's kind of like coffee. If you pay attention to what's happening with coffee and how the trend of coffee, the price of coffee is going around, like how it's affecting. If you follow coffee and you follow oil, you'll start to see huge similarities in the two commodities. Look it up for yourself and see where the price of coffee is right now and what the price of oil is at right now. Woo! Mike, please have a show on this topic, please. Yeah, we could talk about persecution of persecution of Christians. I'm Roman Catholic myself. I was baptized, and I'm proud. And if anyone has a problem with my beliefs and my religion, could go straight to hell, because I don't care what any... You know what? I believe in what I believe, and I respect what everybody else believes. And I don't shove my beliefs down anybody else's throat. Fake news is messing things up. CP24 is saying lies. Oh, don't be silly. CP24 is also always telling the truth. Yeah, right. So there it is here. GoFundMe, help this guy. I'm gonna read his background on what happened to him. I'd like, you know what? Let me see if I can get this guy on my show. I don't have that many subs. But if I can get this guy on my show, I want him to come on and tell us what's going on. Because you know I'm not CP24 or these other Mickey Mouse media companies, you know what I'm saying? I'll let him talk and tell us what's going on, you know? And you know what the sad part is? It's really sad. Is that there's so much going down at the same time. It's like rain. It's going down like rain. And we're having a really tough time grasping at what's going on. And Supreme Canon told me this today in the store. That it's just all coming down, and we're getting so disillusionalized or decompartmentalized, and there's so much going on that we don't know where to take things to the next level. Okay, guys, people have been asking me to recommend a movie. There's a movie I really want you guys to watch. There's one movie. Okay, people have been asking me. They've been saying, Mike, the movies that you recommended were awesome. Please recommend me another movie. Please, please. I love your movie. Because I've been recommending movies from time to time for people to watch, right? And someone's saying, Mike, how come you're not at E3? What's E3? Okay. No, I saw the... No, not The Big Short. Watch this movie. This movie was actually toned down after its release because of it was coming around the politically correct age, or the time of political correctness. This movie had an all-star cast and it went nowhere. But the movie's so good. Yeah, Kevin's a troll. Kevin's a lost cause. This movie, you guys need to watch this movie. I hope my video does not get flagged for audio, but I'll talk through it. But it's called The Informers. If you guys want to watch a good movie that didn't go nowhere,
if I told you I grew up in LA, I'd be lying.
Political correctness.
Here, no one ever grows up.
Yeah. Los Angeles.
In my town, we have it all.
1983.
I'm totally psyched. We're gonna go see Ride Metro. That is if Graham remembered to get the ticket.
I got the tickets and stopped saying totally.
Yeah, stop saying
Whenever
totally.
we want it.
I can feel your pain. Can't really make it in this town unless you're really willing to do some awful things.
There's no right or wrong.
You don't know what they're capable of. They're like kind of a
Yeah, Mickey Rourke's in this.
nightmare.
No consequence.
I got the number, Elizabeth. I got it written down here. 7810-5059. I got it written down.
Did you ever love me? Tell me, did you ever love me?
I don't know.
Sharon Stone's in this, and Billy Bob Thornton's in
We're
this.
his family again.
Only desire.
You're also sleeping with him and it's stressing me out.
You're forgetting something.
What?
We're both sleeping with Martin.
I have to lower it here because this is a song here that's very popular. But if you want to watch a good movie that didn't make it nowhere because it wasn't politically correct, I really recommend you watch this movie. It's called The Informers. It's a very hard movie to find because they had a problem. I'm telling you, this is a good one. Yeah. That one got held back because of its delicate nature. Yep, The Informers. Another one I want to recommend. Oh, Leif is here. Yo, what's up, dog?
I'd bet you $50 right now Kevin's Daryl.
No, it's not. He's not.
You sure?
I know he's not.
Oh.
I know he's not. I know.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
Ciao for now.
All right. What did you think of that movie, that trailer I showed, Informers? Have you seen that movie?
No, I have not.
Yeah, you know why? It doesn't exist. It just, they try to kind of scale back that movie because it was so politically incorrect with so much stuff that happened in 1983 that there's no way that people could stomach it today, and they got rid of the movie. They pretty much just, it was never put on Netflix. It was never put anywhere. So you have to actually find it through a torrent site.
What's it about?
Watch it. I promise you, you'll like it. I promise you'll like the movie.
Well, what's it about? Sorry, I wasn't really watching the trailer, so I was trying to dig up.
Oh, 1983.
1983. What's
Los
it about?
Angeles.
Is that about the LA riots?
No, not even close. It's about what's happened in the 80s that today would be so politically incorrect to talk about or even bring up. I really recommend you see this movie.
Shoot me a link on the Skype later, and then I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'll put the trailer here in the discussion chat.
Or just put it in the description if you can later. That would also make sense.
Yeah. No, if I put it in the description, they're gonna flag my video.
Or rather, yeah. Yeah, knock on wood. Yeah, put in the description. You still have to make a Discord server. By the way,
I have one.
Oh, go start putting in the descriptions, and okay, always put in the description of all your videos your Minds link.
I do. It's on top. No, I don't put it in the Discord link. Do you know why? Because they flag my video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If my video has a link in it, it gets less than 50 views.
Oh, you've been testing stuff, or slowly just kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. That's why I have Discord here on. It's connected to my Patreon. So anyone that tips me $1 a month for coffee, basically you join the family, and then that's it. You're on Patreon. It automatically enters you into Patreon through the Patreon, whatever, how they work with embedding it together.
Well, at least let people know you're on Discord, at least through the live stream or something. So
yeah, I'm on Discord. I'm on Discord. You can look me up, Mike Martins. I'm there. It's just Mike Martins.
Oh, no. I think maybe we're confused. You have your username on Discord. Make a server.
Make a channel. Have a server.
Oh, okay.
I have an entire server. I got 3 chat rooms. I got 3 tiers. I got everything.
Yeah, that's what you gotta. Yeah, so that's good. I wasn't aware because me and my buddy were trying to bug you to get that done.
No, I got it done. You just have to go through. I think there's a way to go through. You know what? You have to message me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to figure this out with one of my friends here in town that knows this stuff and uses Discord. He's going to teach me how to add people to the chat so we could talk behind the scenes. So we could all talk behind the scenes and leave links and create a discussion for the show.
Yeah, that's the thing with Discord. It allows you to have a community, have a dialogue going on, even when the channel's not on live stream or something, right?
Yeah.
Keeps things interactive.
Okay, we'll talk during the week and we'll figure something out.
All right. Ciao again for now, buddy.
Hasta la vista. All right, there's Leif again. Yeah, anyways, it's right here. So basically, we do have a Discord. It's right here. And we could all be behind the scenes type of thing. And, okay, let's go back to where I was talking. All right, so please watch this movie. Okay, another movie, if you're just joining the show or you just joined my channel, is the one the first movie that I recommended for everybody was Pacific Heights. Remember this, guys? Who was on my channel when I recommended this movie? It's a housing movie.
Carter Hayes has come.
It's about a family that buys their first fixer-upper in San Francisco.
He will search for the perfect apartment.
Yeah.
He will find the perfect landlords. And now, the game begins.
I'm your new tenant. I'm Carter Hayes.
Melanie Griffith.
Yeah.
Matthew Modine. And Michael Keaton.
Mr. Hayes? Mr. Hayes?
Pacific Heights.
That's another one. Recommend Pacific Heights, and I'll recommend another movie. The full movie should be on here. I found the full movie on here. Here it is, full movie. It's called Midnight Train to Lisbon. It's a bizarre movie. Very little talking.
You're a man who does not sleep well.
You can tell.
The eyes reveal everything. So, you met a woman in a red coat. Would you
So she tries to commit suicide.
Do you know that book?
He saves her
I sold
life.
it to someone yesterday.
Then you just dropped everything.
Train tickets.
Where to?
Lisbon. Leaving in 15 minutes.
I would love to be able to do that.
And he jumps on a train to go to Portugal.
No, I've never done anything like that before.
And you feel as if you wrote the
To
book
give this lady her
I
jacket
would
back.
like to have done. Amadeo de Prado. He talks about everything that's preoccupied me for years.
Who would want to be immortal? Only through death is time a living thing.
I'm looking for Amadeo de Prado.
You're looking for my brother?
May I ask how he died?
No, you may not.
You buried Amadeo.
I would prefer to be remembered as the man who taught him.
This is a really good movie.
They lived.
Why don't you just stay?
This is an intense movie too. If you guys want something, Night Train to Lisbon, and then one of the ones I've been recommending on this channel for a long time was this one's on Netflix still, unless it got taken down. It has to do with the Portuguese priests that were taken hostage in Japan.
Our Lord said to them, "Go ye into the whole world and preach the gospel to every living creature."
It's a really good movie.
Ferreira is lost to us. He renounced God in public and surrendered the faith.
That's not possible. Father Ferreira risked his life to spread our faith all over Japan.
It seems to me that our mission here is more urgent than ever. We must go find Father Ferreira.
So, please watch the movie Silence. Right now, it is on.
But I think it's time.
Netflix. Please
We're
watch
looking
it.
at the first proof of life.
Lord Humongous says, Mike, you look a little upset. Oh, no, I'm fine, guys. It's just late. I'm tired. When you talk for two hours straight, it starts getting to you and you're watching 14 monitors. One day, I will really have enough to get more people on board to help me out with this channel. And real Kevin Thompson saying I'm pissed. Yep. Yeah, the biggest Christian population was in Hiroshima. Yeah, Hiroshima was the last Portuguese port in Japan. That was our first colony we lost. Our first colony we lost was in Hiroshima, and then the second colony we lost was in Nagasaki. The Portuguese lost. Portuguese spent 300 years more in Asia than any other European power, than anybody else. And then the Australians come on, well, the Dutch mapped Australia. No, they didn't. Yeah, real Kevin Thompson doesn't like that I'm doing well. Yeah, you know, Kevin Thompson is just a lost cause, guys. Just leave him alone. He's got no, you know. So, guys, okay, I promised I was going to actually recommend some movies. So the new movie for this week I'm going to recommend is the movie you guys saw there, the trailer, with Billy Bob Thornton, Mickey Rourke, and all those guys, and Sharon Stone, Winona Ryder. A movie that got no traction because of its political correctness. It's called The Informers. So check out The Informers. Check out Midnight Train to Lisbon. It's on YouTube, the full version. Midnight Train to Lisbon. It's really good. Imagine chasing somebody down to give their jacket back and going across 4 countries to meet them. That's some serious crap. And why I like that movie is because how this professor in a university drops everything at a drop of a hat for adventure. And it's a true story. And the third one was Silence. If you guys have some time right now, it is on Netflix, Silence. Please watch it. I promise you, you would enjoy the movie very much, and you would realize that it's a life-changing story. Is it like you start thinking maybe a little bit more different, you know? Anyways, guys, that's our show on tariffs. We define tariffs. There's the synonym. There's the definition. There is how tariffs work from Investopia. We went over all the different tariffs, all the different countries with tariffs, lists of tariffs. I think I closed that page. Lists of countries with tariffs, how tariffs are affecting us, how tariffs are affecting the poor, and what tariffs look like they're going to emerge. We didn't come to a conclusion whether or not they're good or bad, or they're right or wrong, but what we did come up with that they're there. And we need to keep an eye on our investments, the price of commodities, keep an eye on our food, especially keep an eye on oil. And if you want to invest in oil, take a look at coffee. And you'll see what I'm talking about when you look at the two commodities and how they're very similar in the last 10 years in pricing. So what else is going on here? Kevin outed himself already. Guys, don't waste your time on Kevin. He's a lost cause. Jeez Louise, it's not worth it. Eeh. Anyways, and then we also covered the Chinese military showing up in Australia to take baby powder. Oh, it's not on Australian Netflix. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna get some Z's. I'm gonna catch some Z's. So, guys, one last woo. Woo! Remember, I'm on minds.com. Go ahead and follow me. Retweet or reshare some of my stuff. I'm on BitChute. Go ahead and support me on Patreon. I got 4 Patreon members. And that's it.
Tariff, 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 tariff.
Good night, everybody. Lots of love to you guys. Hope you guys have a great night. God bless. And, yeah, I'm going to go check on my family, making sure they're okay. They're all sleeping right now. Thanks for joining me, Mike in the Night. Thanks, Lord Humongous Supreme Canon. New Beginnings 101. Kevin Thompson. Who else we got here? Leif. Three right guys. Leif is in here. Briggs. Troll Knot. Who else we got in here in the chat? Ooh, we got quite a few people here in the chat. Pizdets. WP. I'm going to call him WP. Who else we got here? Anybody else I need to mention? I mentioned Briggs. Ellen Robshaw. And JS. Low Roller Scratcher. Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm going to call that pastor up sometime this week and see if I can get a hold of him. And see if he wants to come on the show next week. And see what happens, you know what I'm saying? No donuts tomorrow. Yeah. Anyways,